All right, what's up, everyone? Eloy here, internet's second tiredest music teacher, and today we are checking out another Tool track. Did the same thing I did last time. Went online and found this article from Metal Hammer back from 2020, talking about the top 10 best Tool deep cuts. And this is where I found the suggestion for their track 4 Degrees off of Undertow. And today, what we're going to be checking out is Jimmy off of their second LP, Enema. I think that's how you spell it or pronounce it. Yeah. So, this is just about the second half of the track, the LP. I'm excited to hear it, and I've heard a few things off of this particular LP, I believe. So, I'm excited, but going in still pretty blind to everything. So, let's see how it goes. Yeah, so if I counted that right, we've got like 11/8 in the intro, that's gnarly. Had never thought about that. Anyway, also very different tone to the guitar than what I would have been expecting. That's uh that's something else. That's groovy, but that's a different tone. Like not would have immediately thought Tool from that. Anyway. That was a really cool vocal effect coming out of that. Sorry, just had to point that out. That was something else. Let's go back just a tad. The way that like flutters out. Yeah, so it's like they've got it double track there almost, and one of them's at that specific set way of wavering, and then the other one is slightly faster or slightly slower. So you get like this phasing sort of effect as it goes through. It's super cool. It's interesting. I can't hit the right buttons either. And it sounds like it starts to get real juicy right there. But I was thinking again about how unique his voice sounds, knowing that this is a younger version of him. Again, by what was this, 94, I think. So 7 years younger than the albums that I really spent any amount of time listening to when I was in high school. So it's so interesting to hear that. And this is definitely like a halfway kind of point between what I'm used to and what it sounded like off of 4 Degrees kind of deal. So we're like getting to that, what I would say is my stereotypical sound for his voice. Not quite there, but when he starts to get into that really sort of angsty higher end, going up into, I guess, a little bit more of the peak of the chest voice there, you get this really like strong flash into the future of what it is. But now we have the guitars have built up and we're leading into this next transition here. So let's check this. So for a little while back, somewhere right around the 3.5 minute mark, like we were going through talking about time changes again. It was like in a steady 6 or 12/8 kind of thing. And now we've fallen back into the, I guess what you really may want to call it is a 6, 12, 18, 20/8, or maybe a 5 over. Nah, you can call it 20/8. It's kind of a weird one. But then you could also chunk it down to call it a 12/8 plus 8/8, which I guess would be all right there. Yeah, I don't know. I spent a lot of time breaking down these time signatures. And if I misspoke at the beginning, I don't know. My brain's not firing totally all cylinders. So let's finish this out though. Drum's got some cool stuff going on back there. Yeah, all right. Let's talk about that briefly. So, not gonna lie, right off the top, breaking down counts, time signatures in my head, it's not one of my strongest suits. Um, I am okay at it. I've done a decent enough amount of transcribing that I've done sometimes with a starting point and sometimes without a starting point, just for that extra challenge. So in my definitive with my analysis of these time signatures? No. Do I feel fairly confident that I at least know where to track down the beat? 100%. So if I got that wrong, it is what it is. Doing this on the fly, haven't played it before, haven't listened to it before, just going off the top of the head. So, but yeah, I think in terms of tool tracks, like that's a pretty cool one. A lot of the vocal, like the timbral development that he uses going into the end of the first verse there to really give it that extra edge that we get coming out of that. Not necessarily like angsty, but like definitely a change in like what we would say like tone color, signifying that something is happening, like we're building up to it, and using that change in vocal timbre to help emphasize that build up, I think is really well done on this track. And it's something that isn't necessarily at the forefront of what people are looking at when they're listening to music like this. So, if that's something you hadn't thought of before, hopefully I pointed it out and you heard it and you agree. That's always just the hope here. And if you disagree, great. I'm just using what I'm hearing and just yapping about it. So, anyway, yeah, we can keep this tool deep cut thing going. But if you have any other specific tool tracks, definitely feel free to drop them down in the comments below or put them into the Google form on the channel description, and we'll get to them here in the next couple of videos. But until then, the internet's second tiredest music teacher, this is Elaw out.